this video, we will be replacing the Upstream oxygen sensor in this 2003 Toyota Camry. Taking a look inside the engine bay, we want to focus our attention on the centermost portion of the engine, and the Upstream oxygen sensor is located all the way towards the front of that center portion. And a little bit closer look, we can see that Upstream oxygen sensor protruding out from the heat shield. And if we follow the electrical wires from the oxygen sensor around the engine, that will team up with a wiring harness. Now this wiring harness does have a small tab that needs to be depressed, and then we can wiggle that loose. And to aid in the removal of the oxygen sensor, I will be applying a little Amsoil metal protector. This acts as a penetrating oil and will help remove it much easier. After that, I have a 22 millimeter oxygen sensor socket. We can fit that around the wiring and slip that on there. I can then come in with a 1/2 inch drive ratchet and loosen that up, and then I should be able to unscrew that. And prior to installing my new part, I always like to double check to make sure that it looks pretty much the same as the old part. And this one looks like there has already been a little bit of anti-seize applied to it. So we are ready to install this in the engine. And we're going to make sure we start this by hand to avoid cross-threading it. And we also want to be careful of the electrical wires to make sure that they don't get pinched or kinked. And we'll use that same oxygen sensor socket to snug this down. And lastly, we can reconnect the wiring harness. And this repair is complete.